Around 1 year ago, one of my best friends, Nikki, got in touch with me because he needed help creating a brand and a platform for his new startup. And fast forward 1 year from then, he's about to sign a massive investment that's going to open up his business to hundreds of paying clients and potentially take his business to a 7-figure business. I wanted to create this video to show you exactly what lessons I learned along the way and how cool of a journey it's been to actually see one of my best friends succeed in business and to be in a position where I can actually provide value and help in any way I can. So I'm heading over to his place today to be able to strategize on what the long-term vision of the company is and to be able to put some foundations and systems in place for the business to be scalable. So it's Sunday morning, we just came down for a quick swim, gonna get a quick workout in and then go back up to Nikki's place and get some work done. Let's get it. We're going. So I came over to his place today to be able to help him with his new platform. Now that he has investors, he needs to make sure that his platform's stable, he has the right tech in place, and he can invest time and money into building out a platform that's much more stable than it currently is, just so that once he starts scaling and clients start coming in, he's ready for them. And on another note, we're just going to try create some automations and build out his pipelines with regards to his client acquisition strategy, right? Because so far he's working with just a few clients, and basically with this investment, it means he's going to get access to hundreds of paying clients right away. And we need to make sure that once those clients start coming in, he has a proper onboarding strategy in place, automations in place with regards to actually keeping up relationship with his clients. Because working with a few clients is one thing, but once you start to scale, everything will start to break down if you don't have these processes in place. So from my experience, that's what I'm going to help him implement. And we're going to spend the next few hours just working on these things to make sure the building blocks of his business are in place.
It's dark. Dark. They're all darkish. Only this. I mean, I can maybe keep ahead this team. Because I can make the background to be that color, so it literally looks like one phase of. Thing is, if we keep it on a dark theme, everything will make much more sense because your dashboards are dark as well. That's what. So either something like this or something like this. This makes sense to what you are. Something similar. But your people who are looking at this data, is this something like
There to us is I have to have notifications. So like if I want to send a notification company-wide, like we have a new dashboard or something.
okay?
Maybe like a feedback area as well, like they'll have like some feedback or something on the dashboards or something like that.
Like a chat we can do, isn't it? Like a support chat.
Similar.
So we just finished off some design updates. Now the next thing we're going to look into is trying to figure out how we can automate the onboarding. How many clients are you trying to work with?
We have 4 live. We'll have another 8 in the pipeline, and by the end of the year, we'll have another 10 already as well that they have planned to go live as well.
Amazing. So the thing is, since he only has 4 clients for now, the onboarding is very personalized to each individual one because he can actually give them the time and attention, figure out what works for them, what's right for them. And what we're going to try to figure out now is how we can use a tech stack like a CRM tool to be able to automate the onboarding process, figure out which clients are in the pipelines, figure out how we can actually close more deals with regards to his open deals in the pipeline as well. So we're just going to try automate and set up some onboarding strategies and how we can basically sort out with regards to all of the new clients coming in, because obviously with the new investment, that's going to be one of the biggest things.
No, exactly. Now we're still growing this, so we're gonna need to have something in place. So that once we have a new client on board, we're gonna have a system in place to send out all the calls, emails, demos, whatever they need with each and every client.
Exactly. And I mean, you're going to be open with this investment to like hundreds of casinos potentially joining whenever they want. So
Yep.
we can't, like, obviously to have an architecture in place and a system in place to be able to scale at that level, there needs to be the building blocks and the foundation in place. Otherwise, everything's going to crumble. You end up getting like 10 or 20 new clients and then not knowing how to actually fulfill.
We'll be able to focus with the clients and be able to grow with each and every client that comes onto the systems right away.
So I just wanted to sit down and reflect on the lessons I've learned of working with Nicky, understanding why his business was so successful, and how you can apply this thinking to your start. So the first lesson I learned was solve rich people problems. Stop trying to solve problems for people that don't have money. If you can think bigger and understand a business and a marketplace that have a lot of capital, then you can actually take advantage of that. So instead of running after local businesses and trying to sell data to people that don't really see the value in it, what Nicky did was actually find a market and sell to a market that has a lot of capital to invest and see the value in data and can optimize that data to actually become more profitable. So by doing so, finding a business and a market and a niche that actually had money to invest, saw the value in his work, understand how they can use his platform to actually optimize their business, was a game changer. And the way I see it, when I was starting my journey, I was always targeting local businesses, which is fine. However, to actually scale that and to be able to sell that product, it's much harder to do because they're not as experienced, they're not as knowledgeable, they don't have enough money to invest. And it's always this battle of trying to fight and trying to sell something and trying to make people understand that they need your services, rather than actually going to a client that is aware of the problem and just wants a solution. Number two, which was huge for me, is Bootstrap Everything. The way Nicky built his platform and the way he tested it in the market was genius because all he did was put his knowledge into a pre-built software, which was called Tableau. Basically, all we did was we created a WordPress website that had a login feature, loaded iframes that were pre-built by Tableau. So basically, within just 2 weeks, he had a working prototype that he can actually ship to his clients, test and get feedback on. And that's it. And I was thinking, if I had had this idea, what would I have done? And I know for a fact, what I would have done was I would have got my dev team to have built out a BI software. I would have spent hundreds and thousands of costs. It would have taken us years to actually build, and we most likely would have failed. And I'd like to call this the curse of the expert. Because my background is in development, UX, UI, and I have my own development agency, my default setting would be, we can build this, let's do it. Which is a stupid way to think because you can achieve the same results within 5 weeks, test out if it works. Then once it's tested in the market, you're generating revenue, you have an investor like he has now, you can then invest into actually building the system then. So that was a really big one for me to actually realize you don't have to build everything from scratch. The third lesson is how important it is to actually be an expert in your field. Like Nicky didn't do this in 1 year. He was the head of BI for one of the biggest online gaming casinos out there. He was in BI for online casinos for over 8 years. So being an expert allowed him to capitalize on the market and say, okay, there's a gap here, I can actually take action. He was able to capitalize because he had the skills, he put in the time, he put in the effort, and he knew the industry inside out. So I'm going to make another video in a couple of months down the line to show you exactly where he's at, what he's doing, what his current problems are, just to give you an inside look on what it takes to actually build a successful startup and the problems you face along the way.